Man, it's crazy, bro. I knew the damn Jets was gonna get me. I knew it. I knew it. When y'all said that, I was like, damn, I should have picked them damn Jets. Pops was right. Damn it, Pops. Pops was right. Damn.
Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show with the Goon Squad. You got Black Thor over there, you got Ice Water over there, and yours truly, Puma. This is September 15th. We're going to talk about sports all throughout this week, what's been happening throughout this week. But there were a lot of surprises last week in our NFL picks. We didn't do too hot. We didn't do too hot, Black. We did not do too hot.
We owe better to the fans. We owe better to the fans. We do. We owe better. They expect more of us.
They expect more from us, and we got to give them more. Ice Water, how you doing?
I'm good, bro. I mean, it was a little rough week, but this is week one. Like I said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So all of that don't matter. I mean, you know, you feeling good, you in first place right now, whatever.
Who in first place? Ooh.
I mean, hey, I don't know.
Nobody said that yet. I ain't even hear it yet. I didn't hear it.
I just said that if you're in first place right now, I wouldn't get overexcited. I mean, whatever. Whatever we do. Look, last time I checked, no trophies or no cash given out in week one.
Let the man get his roses right now.
I'm just saying, I don't even know. I ain't checking the picks yet. What place am I in?
Black Thor is in first place with a 9-7 record. You know. So Black Thor, how you doing this week, man?
Hey man, it was a rough week, but I think realistically, all joking aside, we don't really expect the first week of we really didn't, man. Preseason, I know it juked and jived me because I thought the Jets were for real. You know, I bought into the hype. Let's be honest. I bought into the hype, their quarterback, all this other stuff.
Knew it.
And I mean, we'll get to it, I guess, when we talk about it. But I think what really, the first we kind of said to me is that some things you might have thought going into this season, rethink them again, because there's some things that are different this NFL season with some teams, some players, some mindsets. And with that being said, you know, I'll leave it till we get to that point. But that's what I kind of picked out this first week, man. We kind of went in thinking we knew some stuff, and you're going to have to reevaluate what you think, what you believe. If not, you're going to be in trouble for the whole season. Fantasy football, whatever the case may be, because it's a new season, bro. And that's one thing about the NFL. When the new season starts, it does clean the slate and it starts fresh, bro. What happened last year, what you thought you knew, it'll show you quick in a hurry, you know nothing.
Yeah, that's true. We'll get to our NFL picks a little bit later. I want to give a shout out, and I'll give a shout out in my last second shot also to PBS. They're doing a special on Muhammad Ali on September 19th. They gave us shots out on my personal page and on the Goon Squad sports page. Nice. I'm looking forward to seeing that document. I've been waiting all summer for that. Ken Burns does some great documentaries on sports. So I'm looking forward to that, and we'll shout that out again. Let's go to college football, man. USC fires their coach after the second game, Ice. Why? What happened? Why now?
I don't know. I think they've been trying to find somebody to take them to the next level for a long time. What do you find ironically when you said that, mentioned about after 2 games, when you really think about the history of their situation at that program lately, probably in the last 10, 15 years, it shouldn't be a shock because I'm not mistaken, the last 3 guys prior to this coach that got fired within the first 3 weeks of the season. So that means you go back to what was it? The guy that was the head coach, was assistant coach at New England for a while, and then over at Alabama, offensive coordinator. They've had like Sarkisian. Then the one before him with the blonde hair, I can't think of it. The one that just had COVID. My mind is really scattered right now. But their last 3 coaches prior to this were let go earlier in the season, like before the first 4 games. So this is kind of a regular pattern for them that they just say it's not working right now. Then they go to an interim coach. So Lane Kiffin, that's who it was. Yeah. They let Lane Kiffin go early. So, I mean, it's a repeated pattern. Question is, when are they going to get it right? I mean, you got to find out who that is, and maybe they're just going to let them roll through it. But at some point, if they want to get to that level where they're at, they have to make a solid decision. They haven't been able to figure that out just yet.
Black, they got a coach in Jacksonville I think would fit, but he's saying there's no way he's going to leave Jacksonville and go into USC. But I got a feeling maybe at the end of the season, he may rethink that.
No,
Good
well,
luck.
the coach in Jacksonville got to get sick first. Remember, he was eating pizza at halftime, so he's going to get sick first before he leaves. He's going to get sick. He's going to spend a year on the sideline. He'll go back to Fox before he goes, so he won't be going to USC. I don't like the fact, let me just say this personally. I don't like the fact that they're trying to make Eric Bieniemy take that job, stick his name out there.
Yes.
I don't like that at all, man. Eric Bieniemy deserves to be an NFL head coach. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I hope he doesn't fall for it and go run and take it. That's an unstable situation. To me, like Ice touched on some points, if you're firing these coaches that quickly, it tells me your process of hiring is wrong. It has to be wrong. What you're going through to evaluate these men to fire them so fast, who's making the decision? Because there's no way you bring him in within a week or two, you decide you want to get rid of him. No, your process is hiring these, bringing these guys in, the names, whatever. And I always thought this. I remember years ago, I was in radio. I never understood. I was saying to a cat the other day, he was moving into the consulting business. A brother I was speaking with didn't know him, and I just started a conversation. I said, I never understood why I got to come in and pay you to tell me what to do with my business. I'm gonna pay you. You know nothing about my business. But this is what happens when college teams and NFL teams decide they want to hire a coach. They go hire an outside firm to say this person is good, this person is not. Wait a minute. Do your own damn work. So whoever they're hiring to tell them this is the person they should hire for the past 10, 15 years, they need to fire that company, hire yourself a good general manager that does his job, and bring someone that can lead that school. That's the problem here. I mean, they're making these roughneck decisions, and you see the battle. USC stands and deserves much better than what they've been getting. That name, remember, I know when I came up, USC college football. Come on, bro. It meant the Trojans. Just when you saw the emblem itself, the logo, you knew what type of football you're gonna be seeing. That's long gone, long gone. Bring it back, but you got to start somewhere and make it more stable. Fire that company that you're hiring that basically tell you, yeah, hire these idiots. I mean, one of the guys, I'm not gonna say his name. We might have said his name already. The guy was a drunk when you hired him. Didn't that say anything to you? He was a drunk. He had to go to rehab. So you hired a drunk to lead men. Are you serious?
Yeah. And I totally agree with you about Bieniemy. This is not. I know this is one of the jobs that he would like to have if he went to college. That's what people around him said. But I think he should stay in the pros for right now and prove that all those folks that didn't think he could do it in the pros, prove them wrong. I'm gonna go to you, Black, for your eye test of college. What'd you see this weekend, bro?
I tell you what, man, I couldn't really watch only one game this week. I chose to only watch one game this week because I don't want to see Michigan beat somebody up they should beat up. I'm trying to see Alabama run all over teams. So I focused on Oregon, Ohio State. A very good game. Ohio State, to me, I keep hearing this, and maybe I'm wrong. That is a rookie quarterback. Why are you putting so much on his plate so soon? I just don't understand. I mean, he's doing well. Don't get me wrong. Somebody's passing a little high. But why are you leaning so harsh on a rookie like he's a senior? Dial it back a little bit. Dial it back. But I will say this. Ohio State defense is not what it used to be, bro. Because one thing the commentator kept saying, they didn't make no adjustments. They kept running the same thing over and over, the same side with nobody stopping it. I mean, they would take off to that left side. You could have drove a tractor trailer over there half the time that running back was running or the quarterback was running. That's how big the hole was. So Oregon is a team that nobody talks about. They finally got rid of Chip, whatever that Chip Kelly, what was his name a few years ago. They got themselves a head coach, bro. And it's interesting because throughout the course of the game, they kept saying Oregon recruits more of the high top-notch players than any other team when it comes to college football, but they don't get the attention because they're in the pack, wherever. They're way out there. No one focused. Well, we focused on Saturday afternoon. That team could play some football. Their defense ain't scared of nobody. They come up, punch you in the mouth. That offense will maul you down. They will throw it. And they're effective and they're efficient. Very good game, man. So I'm gonna leave it there for the rest of you two to take over. But it's interesting. I say with the top 10 or whatever, it's gonna be funny to see because some teams we see there now, some names we see now, I don't think you'll see them in 4 or 5 weeks, bro. I don't think you're gonna see some of these names other than Alabama, maybe Georgia. You're gonna see a flushing of some teams just start to fall down because college football, these players are saying, you know what? I don't have to go to SEC. I don't have to go. They're going to these other schools, and these other schools are starting to get it right. Not saying they're ready to beat Alabama yet, but some of the names we're used to seeing always be up in the middle. Oklahoma's, the rest of them. Watch your back. Watch your back.
Yeah, we're going to go to some of the games that are upcoming this weekend. It should be some good games, and hopefully they're very good, and hopefully they'll change some of the standings. I heard that some of the Oregon players were taunting some of the Ohio State players, said, y'all need to come to Oregon. And instead of, as far as that recruiting thing, they were like, y'all need to come to Oregon. Your thoughts, bro, and your eye test of college football last weekend.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, of course, you can say that when you come to Columbus and you win, because that really doesn't happen often. It hasn't happened in a few years. So when you win, then you can say what you want to, but it's like anything else. It's a long season. We'll see what happens. Now Oregon has popped up in the top five, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So they're like right
number
up
four.
ranked. So yeah, number 4. So they're ranked right now. So Ohio State dropped to 11, but Ohio State again, like I said earlier, that Coach Ryan Day talks about balance, and balance offensively has to happen. They were not balanced whatsoever. Oregon was able to shut down their rushing attack, and they had to start throwing the ball. C.J. Stroud, redshirt freshman, slinging the ball 35 of 54, 484 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's too much. And then you expect him to come back and do what he did, and it's just too much. So particularly when your defense is not stopping anything. Blackthorn mentioned about them running right crazy on the left side, and then they were using the tight end and anything up the middle they wanted. They literally controlled the game from the beginning to the end, and Ohio State was playing catch up. So they'll have to make some defense adjustments and do what they have to do to try to get back on top or get back on track. But hey, you got to take your hat off to Oregon. They jumped out and never looked back. And that's what you're supposed to do when you got an opportunity. Can't worry about the jerseys or how many people are in the stadium. You got to come in and handle your business, and they did that. Other teams looking at that I'm kind of impressed with. We'll see what's going on with Virginia. Even though they beat maybe not a great Illinois team, Virginia's 2-0 right now. Kind of see what they're going to do moving up the ladder. Also, Oklahoma State beat Tulsa. Tulsa actually played Oklahoma State real well, 28-23. Tulsa plays Ohio State, I think, coming up this weekend. So we'll see what happens there. Notre Dame squeaks by Toledo.
Yeah.
32-29. I watched the end of that game. Toledo looked like they had a very strong chance to win it. So kind of wondering how good Notre Dame really is, considering that Florida State losing to Jacksonville State. So that kind of makes you go, ooh. Yeah. But that, and I'll say last but not least, you mentioned about USC and Stanford. Stanford played old school football. It's almost watching the old black and blue division back in the day, where they just run the football, punch you in the mouth, play hard defense. Somebody runs for about 27 yards, no great passing, just running the football. But USC got surprised because I think they expected a lot, considering with the quarterback that they have coming back this year. And Stanford punched them in the mouth 42-28. So I guess they wanted to stop the bleeding. So we'll see what happens with them later on.
All right. Instead of me doing the eye test, I'll talk about some of the games I saw last week and talk about some of the games that I'm looking forward to seeing this week. I want to check in on Alabama and Florida. I thought that Florida had a decent season last season. Maybe they're ready to challenge Alabama. I don't know. I just want to see. And if it doesn't look good in the first 2 quarters, then I'll be going on to another game. The Iowa State game last week was really, really good. And those are 2 teams that were going at it. Iowa State lost in that one. The other game that I watched is the BYU game, and they're going to be going up against Arizona State, which is another game I watched last week, and this should be a good game. I'm the West Coast correspondent, so I'll be up watching that game. Michigan is not impressive at all. They seem to have picked their schedule really nice to kind of get, a few wins under their belt before they get into conference play, but they're not really scary at all. North Carolina and Virginia is going to be a good game. And Coastal Carolina, a lot of people aren't talking about Coastal Carolina. They were really good last year. They kind of moved up 1 in the rankings. Notre Dame fell in the rankings 4 spots after almost getting beat last week. Penn State had a great game. They are looking really good. They go up against Auburn. So, Black, what are some of the games that you're going to be trying to watch this weekend, bro?
I'm going to jump on the last one you just said, man. Penn State and Auburn. To me, I always kind of root for Penn State. I don't know. Well, I do know why, because the head coach, man, I want to see their brother succeed. And half the time they kind of let me down. But I want to see Penn State kind of get it done. I would like to see them kind of step up, take care of Oregon, kind of move up like I said earlier, I think that they can kind of make some noise coming along the way. Like you said, with Alabama and Florida, yeah, if that game turns out early on, somebody Alabama's going to run away with it. There's no need to watch. Let's you look at what players to think about for the draft next year. Outside of that, we need to pay attention to him.
Ice, who are you looking forward to watch next week?
The one game I'm really looking forward to, and I just having to pay attention, is Cincinnati plays Indiana.
Yes.
And Cincinnati is like, coming along. We know how far they are. Indiana's struggled a little bit, but we know who their quarterback is. They have a strong quarterback. This will be a great test to see if Cincinnati's ready to rise above and play with the big boys now. Another game would be Virginia Tech's 2-0. They play West Virginia. That should be an interesting game as well. Michigan State is 2-0. Play the Hurricanes in Miami, Florida. Miami, Florida doesn't seem to be really good, but I think they have at least a little heart, try to show a little heart, and they just don't want to, they're not going to lay down. So see if Michigan State is the real deal. And then, of course, Notre Dame's playing Purdue. I'm telling you what, it may not happen this week, but Notre Dame got a hard schedule coming up. I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, we're going to see if you for real, because they have a serious schedule coming up in the next 4 weeks.
And they've been struggling the last 2 weeks. So I can't see them really even being in the top 25 with the schedule that they have. And usually they're trying to inch Notre Dame up. It seems like a lot of teams are anticipating the 12-team kind of playoff, maybe next year or whatever, and they're playing hard. You see the Pac-10 trying to smack the SEC around. You see a lot of teams that you didn't expect to kind of give some of these top-ranked teams any kind of problems, giving them problems. So these teams are saying we want in, and so Black, get ready, it's coming. 12-game playoffs, baby. Let's go.
I guess so, man. I guess it is coming. It's almost like Santa Claus. You got to wait.
I gotta wait. Let's go right into some of the other sports. John Wall, Ice's boy, says he wants out of Houston. The Wizards. When they signed John Wall to that contract, I thought it was too much money, and they wanted to keep him there. They finally gave him to Houston. He has 2 years on a contract. I think it's $90 million that he's owed, $91 million that he's owed. Now there are talks that, hey, let's do a trade with John Wall and Ben Simmons. Ice, what should Houston do with John Wall, man?
Well, I think they already made a decision. They're going to get rid of him. They let it go, send him somewhere else, try to get something back. But, it's funny because, I'm a John Wall fan when he's healthy, whenever that is. But, he went to where they sent him to. Then Houston, you go John Wall, you go Harden, you got some other folks. And then all of a sudden you go, well, now it's John Wall's fault. They're starting over. So he doesn't really belong there. He's not going to help them anymore. So they started brand new. They got guys like Jashawn Tate, formerly of Ohio State, playing his butt off. Just glad to get $2 million a year. So they're starting all over. Christian Wood is going to be their guy, the go-to guy. So, and then of course you have the rookie that came in, Green. So Green that's the way they're building it. So they should, if they're smart, they should try to find a team that would be very interested in making moves. Maybe I wouldn't say Portland, but even somebody like I tell you somebody that would be maybe interested. I'm not sure it will work, and y'all gonna laugh, but the Clippers, man, Clippers. I'm just saying. Because of the money. I'm thinking about the money. The Clippers, Philadelphia definitely, and maybe one other two squads that could use somebody like that. So
I can see the Clippers.
Because when you look at it, I'm telling you, if you say I had to choose between Patrick Beverly, not Patrick Beverly, but Bledsoe, who they just got, and John Wall. I'm taking John Wall all day.
Yeah.
So I'm making that call right now. I think they're saying trading John Wall and Luke Kennard, and also with the Bledsoe to Houston.
Yeah, because Houston needs Houston needs a point guard that can give them buckets outside of PG and Kawhi Leonard. That makes sense to me. But what are your thoughts about John Wall? John Wall went to Houston and said, listen, trade me. I know I got 2 years remaining on my contract. It's a big contract. It's going to be a hard sell for some teams.
Well, he does need to get out of there. I'm not sold on John Wall as much as Ice is. I'm just not, man. I've seen him over the years. For one, he can't stay healthy. And when he is healthy, it's basically he makes it about him. He doesn't have the point guard mentality, in my opinion. He just doesn't. Now, I'm not saying he's not better than Bledsoe. I don't know. I didn't realize the Clippers picked up Bledsoe. What the hell are you doing with Bledsoe? I mean, realistically, you can go to the G League and get a point guard better than Bledsoe, but he would fit in better there. But again, John Wall comes across to me, and as a player, I'm not going to say exactly like Ben Simmons, but these are cats that are making a bunch of money, but their head is bigger than their paychecks, bro. And which is hard to believe because you watched them over years and you're looking for growth. You just don't see it. They're okay with taking their paycheck, being a flash in the pan, and being a highlight reel and going home. And to me, that's what John Wall is. John Wall had a team that at the time were basically built around him for the most part. He couldn't get along with the other guy, the number 2 guy. Are you serious? Let's be honest. So you tell me you're gonna put him on a team with a guy that's very temperamental, Kawhi Leonard, and that's gonna work out. Let's be honest. Kawhi Leonard doesn't get along with everybody. We already know that. If you ain't basically kneeling down to Kawhi Leonard, it may not happen. So you could try it. I just don't think when it comes to him, I don't see where he's going to be a benefit to a lot of teams. I mean, you put him on a team that ain't going nowhere and forget about him, yes. You put him on a team that's basically trying to win something, I think the chemistry is going to be wrong because his head is not in the right place. Not more of his skill, his head.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be, and I'm saving this story for when the basketball season comes with the old folks home. We know as the Los Angeles Lakers. We'll save that till later on in the season. But it's like the Lakers would be a team to try to get him because they're just grabbing all the old, all-stars and all the old players. Here, my friend, we have vacations together. Come on, let's play. And that's going to be something else. It's just going to be interesting to see. The old folks home west with the Los Angeles Lakers. But we'll keep that on ice before we talk about it. This is a story that I missed last week, and I didn't mean to miss, but Ice, I can't stress the importance to college football and college sports as Sam Bam Cunningham, who passed away on September 7th. I used to remember him being with the New England Patriots, but there are some great stories which involved Alabama and Bear Bryant with Sam Cunningham. And I don't want to say the story. You'll share the story, but I don't think he got as much accolades as he really deserved, because if it wasn't for him and what he did to Alabama playing at USC, I don't think there would be a lot of Black players integrating into major college football. Your thoughts on the passing of Sam Cunningham?
Yeah, Sam Bam Cunningham was just that. Sam Bam. He could hit you, but he's so athletic, man. People don't understand that. I used to love it because he had the ability early on to like leap over tacklers or jump over hurdles. He would hurdle people, and he was so athletic for his size. But he was really poetry in motion for a big guy. You mentioned about the Alabama story. Comes down to the factor where Alabama ended up playing USC, who came down to Tuscaloosa. And Alabama at the time were really limited on the number of African-American players that they had on their squad, if any at all. And they definitely didn't have anybody at the key positions like at running back or quarterback, right? So they come in and they play the Crimson Tide, and Sam Bam Cunningham has a day. He has a day that just people go, oh my God, oh my God. And then they're like, well, you were one of the last ones. And I can't quote it, but I'm paraphrasing. Bear Bryant was like, we got to get us one of those. And when he was talking about one of those, he was talking about one of the African-American running backs. And he was like, man, we got to get us one of those because we don't understand it. We don't understand how they run. We don't know what's going on. And we have no defense for it. So we got to get one of those. Shortly thereafter, they got them one of those. And when they ended up getting Black players, bringing them in to their team. But he was phenomenal. Then he goes over to New England, does some great things. New England really weren't great at that time, but they had some solid guys. You go back to Grogan, Plunkett, Randy Vataha, cats like that, where they were decent, but he never really got to love because they weren't a dominant team. But he clearly was one of the best running backs in the. It's kind of like one of those Chuck Muncie deals in the Terry Metcalfs. A lot of people were so caught up on the Zonkas of the world and Dorsett's, Calvin Hills and cats, or Franco Harris, but they missed a lot of great talented players that may have been on the lower end. You know, a lot of people didn't know enough about John Brockington. Every day he was putting work in, bro. Every week you turn your TV on, you see that dude running. You're like, oh my God. He was must-see TV even though they're getting blasted. It's kind of like Steve Bartkowski back in the day with Atlanta Falcons. Wasn't a bad quarterback. He just didn't have nobody to hold him up behind the line.
Well said, sir. Well said. Black, it was rumored that Bear Bryant purposely brought USC and Sam Cunningham to Tuscaloosa so that all the fans could see that we needed one of those. And he said on Sunday and Monday, that's what people were talking about. We need one of those. We're not going to win the national championship. Your thoughts on Sam Cunningham?
And they've been winning it for quite some time now. If that was his move, very smart move, man. I think I heard that story once or twice before. And if that's what he chose to have done, who can knock him for it, man? Because we see the progress and the evolution of that. Basically, I'm going to go to NFL because I didn't really pay much attention to him when he was in college, and I'm glad Ice brought that information out. But to me, he was the attraction for the New England Patriots, bro. Just that name alone. Yeah. And then when you follow the name and you watch the way he ran, the way he handled himself, yeah, he was the attraction. Because New England, to me, I heard him mention Grogan, but they didn't have a lot of household names you can hang your name on. But Sam the Bam, that was it, man. That name right there. Because back then, nicknames, for some reason, if you heard a nickname, you just wanted to kind of follow what's going on. You kind of just followed and kind of went behind it. So when you heard that, you started paying more attention. And kudos to him for bringing up Terry Metcalf, because that was a bad man right there. That Terry Metcalf, oh my goodness, man. That brother, right, to me, I look at him, and I don't think he gets the attention because he kind of revolutionized football in a sense, not being a receiver, that running back, that punt returner. What didn't he do? Terry Metcalf, I mean, basically, when he went back there, long before Deion Sanders started returning punt kicks, when Terry Metcalf and maybe Billy White Hughes Johnson went back to return kicks, you paid attention. Yeah. You had to go to the bathroom, you waited until after they kicked you didn't go, because you just never knew. You knew when he got touched the ball, something special could happen, bro. It was that type of excitement.
Yeah, and rest in peace. And I remember Sam the Bam Cunningham. I remember cutting out, or we used to get the Juicy Fruit gums and writing the New England Patriots number 39 on the back of them, playing the Buffalo Bills and O.J. Simpson. And so, yeah, I remember that name with the New England Patriots. He was an all-pro player. He was a first-team All-American, and also part of the New England Hall of Fame. Rest in peace, sir. Let's go to our baseball report with Ice Water. Ice Water, I forgot to congratulate the Hall of Famers last week, and especially Derek Jeter making it to the Hall of Fame. And it was like all week they were showing all Derek Jeter. You forgot who else was going to the Hall of Fame, because Derek Jeter was the guy who got, he thanked everybody but that one voter who didn't vote him in, all the guys who voted him into the Hall of Fame. But your thoughts on the Hall of Famers and then your baseball report.
Yeah, well, you think about it. I mean, there's other guys that came in, but Jeter was the guy, man. I mean, I remember, I want to speak about Jeter because of the factor, being here in Columbus, Ohio, when the Yankees had their AAA affiliate, you got a chance to see certain guys. I got a chance to see Derek Jeter up close and personal, really made some things happen. And watch him grow, because people go, oh, he was always great. No, he struggled. Same thing with, Mario, Rivera. He was the type of guy that wanted to quit because he didn't think he was going to be good enough. But he ended up getting to the big club. And when you see guys like that, you just kind of go, I really want to give kudos to those guys because they play hard. Jeter's a household name. Some of the other guys were still waiting to get in, haven't got in, like the Dave Parkers of the world. I mean, really? I mean, it just kind of makes you shake your fist a little bit. Al Oliver's, people I used to love. I mean, I like contact hitters, guys like that too. So while I don't mind the Hall of Fame, I'm still a little skittish about it. I'm still a little frustrated. I mean, let's be real. And I know they don't want to take away from their Hall of Fame access, but sooner or later, you got to let Bonds in, bro. You're going to let McGuire in. You might as well put the asterisk next to his name. Like you're going to do it. Put the asterisk. You put that trio in at the same time. Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, and Mark McGuire, all at the same time. And then if you want to put an asterisk across their face and put their numbers on the side, do what you got to do. They deserve to get in. Y'all need to quit tripping. Y'all know what was going on with Ty Cobb. That's another story. And there's nobody. It was just a time. You know how it was with people juicing and everything. Everybody was doing it. But you don't like Barry Bonds because of the fact that he had a stank attitude. that has nothing to do with his damn skills. You can't have it both ways. Can't have a crack addict and somebody on cocaine talking about, cocaine's really not that bad, but that damn crack, really? Come on. Anyway, but getting back to the report, I went way over there. But
way over there.
I did. I'm sorry. I apologize if that offended you, but you got to keep it 100. You got to keep it 100, baby.
Cold water, baby. No ice, just cold water.
That's it. I'll let you know what's going on. Just pay attention. Anyway, in the American League East, Tampa Bay is running away with this. Unbelievable right now. Leading Toronto and the Yankees by double digits. Boston is kind of hanging on too. But I mean, they really are up front. Tampa Bay, I need you to come on because I did have you as my pick. I need a clean sweep. We had Tampa hockey, I told y'all, Tampa football, and we need one more. Tampa. I'm moving to Tampa. I like Tampa. Anyway. But going to the Central, the White Sox are leading Cleveland by 12.5. Very impressive. What can you say about the White Sox? Say what you want to about Tony La Russa drinking or whatever the hell he's doing else, or other thing he's doing over there allegedly, but he's getting it done and they win the ball game. So at the end of the day, that's all most people care about, winning unless you accosting somebody anyway. So rock on White Sox. Moving to the West, Houston is leading the West, leading Seattle and Oakland right now. Houston is another team that people don't like because of the banging on the trash cans and giving away signals. The teams you love to hate are making moves. So that's ironic this year. But also in the National League East, Atlanta's leading that division, surprisingly, leading Philadelphia by 4.5. The Mets are 5.5 out. In the Central, Milwaukee's up on St. Louis by 13 games. Crazy. Milwaukee's really playing some great ball this year. The Reds are 13.5 back in that division. In the West, San Francisco is still playing a few games with Tiddlywinks with the Dodgers, up by 2.5. And they're blowing everybody else besides that. It's not even close. San Diego's like, at least double digits after that, if not more, in that race. So that's a 2-team race. But it's starting to get interesting about this time, September, October. We find out who's the contenders, and the pretenders have now gone to the side. I'm just ready for the playoffs like I am for anything else, and then see what happens. Come on, Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Tony La Russa doesn't even compare to what I'm watching his 30 for 30 with the New York Mets back in the 80s. Some of the stuff that they were doing, oh my God. Got women in the dugout, man, in the game. In the game. Man. And Hernandez.
What's the problem?
Hey.
Wow. Black. You said what?
What's the problem? I'm still trying to find a problem.
Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. Nobody, you win it. A win is a win, like you said. Win is a win.
If you could do what you like, you get paid a lot of money for it, and still have fun, I'm not mad at you.
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm not mad. I want to piggyback real quick, if you don't mind, before I bring you the WNBA report.
Sure.
About Derek Jeter going into Hall of Fame. I didn't realize it was going in. But let me just say this, man. Even around the years when I started to wind down, and probably at this time when he really was peaking, really not paying attention to baseball, but Derek Jeter, I got to admit, would make me turn my TV on to watch him play, bro, especially in the playoffs. It's just something about him. When you knew he was playing, if I heard people talking that night or during the day he was playing, I would turn the TV on to watch Derek Jeter, bro. And I'm not going to say there's not been many baseball players that I could say and contribute that to other than him, bro. There was something about him. He was just bigger than box office. If he was up there, you wanted to pay attention. So well-deserved. I mean, I can't say that about a lot of people going to the Hall of Fame or any Hall of Fame that currently now, because I think now they just throw anybody in. If you played a lot amount of years, you go in. I was reading an article other night saying to my son that they were saying Carmel Anthony is basically getting ready to go into the Hall of Fame. I'm like, who? Carmel who? He's not a Hall of Famer to be, but that's just my opinion. So congratulations to him. WNBA report for this week. You know, the playoffs are going to start on September 23rd on a Thursday afternoon. The top 8 teams are getting ready now to battle in the playoffs. And the number 8 spot is being currently held by the Washington Mystics, which, if you think about last week, I said this, that if I had to pick a team that was battling to get to the 8 spot, I kind of thought they would get there. But their star player, Elena Deladon, may not be playing. Right now, basically, her status of playing is in doubt. I think her back is starting that back up. Also, the former MVP of the league at a time ago, Brianna Stewart for the Seattle Storm, she may not be playing. I think her foot is hurting her. So that's going to might drop Seattle basically if the players got started. They're trying to get her ready to play, but she may not be able to make it. And not to mention, she's got married too, so she may not want to play. She's done enough, man. She's been playing in the Olympics. She's done some other things. So it might just be time for her body to rest a little bit. I shouldn't say she may not want to play, because in her heart, I'm sure she would want to, but it might just be time for her to rest her body just a little bit, because she's had a busy, very busy past 5 years. Currently, the Storm is in 4th place. Now, 3rd place, catch me by surprise, in the top 8 that's going to go into the playoff. The 3rd place belongs to the Minnesota Lynx. Now, why I say catch me by surprise, beginning of the season and throughout the course of the season, Minnesota Lynx did not look good, but contribute to commending their head coach, Cheryl Reeve. She got this team in the 3rd spot now, going into playoffs. Think about that. I remember they were basically losing many games in a row, back to back. You figure Maya Moore is no longer there. They've been losing players left and right. Players are kind of walking away, trading players. She's found a way to right the ship, get them into the 3rd spot. The 2nd spot belongs to Bill Lambert, Las Vegas Aces. They're going to be a tough team to beat when it comes down to playing the playoffs. And of course, the number 1 spot belongs to Connecticut Sun. Yes, I did say it, Connecticut Sun. Think about this for a while. Jaquil Jones wasn't even there for part of the season. She went away to play for her home country, and came back. But that team is still dominating, hold down the number 1 spot. Tina Charles of the Mystic is the Eastern East Conference Player of the Week. Brittany Griner has been grinding all year, and she still continues to grind. Of the Mercury, she's the Western Player of the Week. And as I said, the playoffs will start on the 23rd. We anticipate and looking forward to, and of course, the reports will keep coming right here.
Yeah, I'm wondering what chance does the Los Angeles Sparks and the New York Liberty, what are their chances of getting into that 8th spot?
I think there's only 2 games left. I don't think it's good, bro, especially for the Liberty. I don't think it's good. And I really think the Sparks should not get there. And I say that to only say I think they need to revamp, do some things differently, and they need to get their head coach, who's not a head coach for the most part, and maybe get him out of the way, do some things different, kind of start fresh. He ran Candace Parker out of town. I'm talking about one Derek Fisher. He has no business, other than being the fact that he played for the Lakers. Remember years ago, one time Derek Fisher went to Utah. I think they traded him to Utah. He got signed to Utah Jazz, and he claimed he had to be back in California.
Yeah, and they traded him back to the Lakers.
And he said he didn't want to play basketball. He went back and played for the Lakers.
Yeah.
This is the man that's coaching the LA Sparks. So realistically, he's not ready to be head coach of that franchise, bro. So it's time for them to basically wake up, move him out of the way, and start fresh.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can say about Derek Fisher with Matt Barnes and all. Yeah, we're not even going to go into that. But questions from the squad. I actually got a question.
Yeah, I want to find out what you guys think about the situation with a lot of the players saying that there have been issues where they're telling things. I guess what I'm saying, where they were either being mistreated or molested and stuff like that too, where people are kind of sharing their truths. I guess my question is, when you make it this kind of money, you're doing what you're doing at this point, would you be open enough to say, I want to tell what happened because now other people are sharing?
Black, what are your thoughts, man?
I think you have to. Because if you're not going to be open up to share, who will? People will pay attention. You have a platform. You open your mouth, you have a platform, people listen, and change will start to happen. When you basically sit down, say nothing, keep your lips tight, and when you could have said something, you have to. Nothing comes of it. Nothing comes of it. And the person that basically violated you and others gets a chance to kind of escape. So no, you have to, and we have to start paying more close attention and understanding that we need to basically, we treat these young people because they have specific gifts and talents that were given to them by God. We treat them in a way we basically want to feed off them. We get joy and excitement and entertainment from watching them, but we got to realize at the end of the day, man, they're a human being and they don't deserve to be treated such and do things and be treated in a certain way and be violated. So anyone has been violated. I mean, whether they make it big or not, no, you need to talk. You need to basically let everybody know, because the person that's done it to you, they should be brought to justice and they should be brought to shame. And that's minimum. If not taken off the face of this earth. And I'm not afraid to say it. It just is what it is.
Yeah, I think it's important for folks to do that because there have been so many people. I just found out that Oscar De La Hoya, in an interview, he said he was molested when he was like 12, 13 years old. Mike Tyson, all these great athletes who are coming out and saying, hey, this happened to me. It gives people who are going through that, who don't have the limelight, don't have platforms, hope that if this person can go through it and say it and not be afraid of losing anything or their stardom or not, then when one person says it and comes out with their truth, it encourages other people to come out with theirs, you know? So that self-disclosure helps other people disclose some certain other things. So I think it's very important. Would I be able to do it? I think if that happened to me, I think you know, it would come a time and place where I would do that. I wouldn't want it to be kind of self-serving. It would have to be something where it's in the kind of in the kind of category of I want to help others. I want to reach out to others who are going through it because I've gone through it and I've come to the light of the tunnel and I want to bring other people to the light of the tunnel. So I admire folks who will go through that and are able to speak their truth and reach out to other people because you never know who's out there watching and listening and how it might be an encouragement to them to come out and out somebody who probably is still doing what they're doing as far as abusing kids or molesting people. Ice?
Yeah, I agree with that as far as people coming out and sharing their truth. I don't know, bro. I might have a little rough issue with it. And I'm just saying because of who you are, and not saying that you should be ashamed because you did nothing wrong. But you think about it when, you know, we have our issues when we are 12, 13 and we're growing. And then there's something that a lot of people cover and hide because they're ashamed of it because of it shouldn't have happened. But for somebody like an Oscar De La Hoya and others to come out and go, yeah, this happened to me, you're like, wow. But I think it also shows people that no matter how much money you have, how rich you are, or even you look at the Simone Biles and whatnot, things of that nature that happened to her, and she's one of the greatest gymnasts of all time now, that we're all human, man. And we come from different places, but you never know what somebody's dealing with or has dealt with based on how much, what the accolades. And I think that's a misconception. People think because you have all the money in the world or you're on top of your game that you haven't been through anything. And I think that's just the opposite because you don't know these people's lives. You don't know their truths often.
Yeah, it's almost like their talent or people's talent is their escape from what happened to them. And they excel at it because they're maybe trying to run from it or trying to kind of, you know, put it out of their memory or make it disappear. And that kind of fuels the talent sometimes, maybe. Black, what's your question?
This is interesting. I mean, I know you two guys are boxing aficionados much more.
Oh, here we go.
So I want to get your initial reaction. We saw Evander Holyfield go down the mat. I just want to see what you thought.
Ice, your thoughts, man. Because personally, I didn't watch it. My boy Eddie always tried to get me to watch this stuff. And last weekend, I'm like, I'm not watching Eddie. He was describing it on the phone. He's like, oh, you got knocked through the ropes. Ice, your thoughts, man.
Man, like I said, I've been telling y'all for a minute, I can't even find my damn thing. Maybe it's probably meant that I shouldn't have it. Anyway, I told y'all, it's what it is. Again, I think it just shows you again, this is not boxing. I told y'all. It's not. And now the more and more they do it, the more they showing you. You got David Haye fought one of his best friends and they hugging at the end and he wouldn't even throw a right hand at him because he didn't want to hurt him, right? But I think somebody forgot to tell Belfort that this is a boxing exhibition because he was like, and they forgot to tell Anderson Silva too because he was like, dude, for real? You coming in here like that? So, but I still think it comes back to it where, and I really respect Evander Holyfield, even if he needed the money, but it's not boxing, bro. It's entertainment. I've been telling you that forever. So I think now you see it. So you want to see a 58-year-old man that's in great shape, looks good, slurs his speech a little bit, but he still says he can get it done. You want to pay for that? Pay for it. But that ain't boxing, bro. That ain't boxing. It's entertainment. Boxing is what it is. And that's what you want to do and you want to pay for it? Good. Floyd Mayweather told you, I am an entertainer now. I'm not a boxer. So if you want to lump it in with boxing and say how boxing's dying, you buy into that. Because we got a real fight coming November 20th, finally, where Terrence Crawford is going to fight Sean Porter. That's boxing, bro.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in overtime in our boxing segment. But man, Evander Holyfield, I think, got 11 kids. He got to fight. He got to make some money. He got all the mansions. Yeah, he got to. So I didn't watch it, bro. I didn't watch it. I did see the highlights or the lowlights where he got knocked through the ropes and they stopped the fight. You know, it was on some social media outlet and I was watching it after the fact. But it's sad to see, but this brother got bills to pay, man. So that's the way you got to go there and pay his bills.
I mean, that's fine. That's what I'm saying. So you get you a weed sponsor, right? I ain't mad. Put all that over there, get some entertainment, have Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent, everybody over there entertaining you. That's what you want to spend your money while you getting high, you know, eating Hostess Twinkies. I ain't mad at you. You want to pay $59.99 for that? But don't tell me that's boxing, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that. Boxing deserves better than that. It might be dying, but that it deserves better than watching Evander Holyfield. And then too, what is it? The guy that beat Holyfield says, now you know why Oscar De La Hoya is lucky. Because I'd have knocked him out too. Now Oscar like, I still fighting. Okay, well, keep that over there, bro. Go, get a special channel. And entertainment. Anybody want to fight or think they can fight that has really doesn't have a skill set or too old, that's where you go.
Black, speaking of Twinkies, they got chocolate Twinkies. Are you up on that?
No, bro, I haven't had a Twinkie in about 30 years, bro. I can't.
You gotta
Who knows they put in Twinkies now? Twinkies ain't what it used to be, bro. I'd rather make my own cupcakes, to be honest with you. Cupcakes now, I don't know about where y'all at, but cupcakes up here, there's a spot up here that one cupcakes Food Network, they sell you a cupcake for $4, bro.
No.
I'm just telling you, I'd rather do that.
Not even for my birthday, no.
You know, I'll just say this, man. Whoever signed off on Evander Holyfield getting in the ring, you to be investigated. I know you got 11 kids, whatever the case may be, but at some point you gotta have some decency, some morality going on, man. At 58, there should be things. I mean, there's a certain time like they make sure you take your driver's license. But this time, when they're like, they cannot allow you to bring your ass into the ring with Evander Holyfield. Whether I don't care, we got 100 kids, bro. Do a rap song, do something, but don't get in the ring no more. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Try not.
I'm not hurt. Why you stop it? It's sad, man.
It is.
It is.
We got bills to pay, but it is sad. 11 children.
Very sad. Very.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. And I seen the highlight like you, and I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I'm looking at him going, when that guy knocked him, it's like, and then he looks at the ref, and the ref stops. You're like, I could go on. No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't. Oh my God.
All right, last second shot, Ice.
Yeah, my last second shot, I wanted to make sure I give kudos to the other Hall of Famers from the Baseball Hall of Fame induction. Larry Walker, very dangerous hitter for Colorado Rockies, really tough character, used to wear his hat backwards. One time in the All-Star game, he was scared of Randy Johnson pitching so fast, he put his hat backwards and jumped out the way because he thought Randy Johnson was going to hit him back in the day. Also, Ted Simmons, outstanding catcher, St. Louis Cardinals from back in the day, and probably one of the most significant and strongest figureheads in baseball at one time. Union head Marvin Miller. That dude was nasty. You talk about negotiations, they hated him, the people that he wasn't for, but he knew how to get the job done. He could come in the negotiation, make things happen. That's when baseball was in a good place for a lot of the players. He made sure that they were received everything that they needed at that time. A lot different than now.
Last second shot, Black.
Last week I talked about Michael Strahan basically giving suits out to the university that Deion Sanders, the head coach. This week I'm gonna talk about Deion Sanders because Deion Sanders sometimes get a bad name, he get a bad rep, whatever the case may be. But if you pay close attention, Deion Sanders is elevating the attention and bringing up Black college football, bro. All by himself. And I remember when he took the job, I was like, what is his angle? What is he really trying to do? But at any point, man, if I start to question it again, I stop myself. Because black college football is going to be better in the future because Deion Sanders. You can write that down right now.
He did something real quick with that is I guess those teams get offered a lot of money to play the big schools. And he said, why would I put my team through that? Why would I sell my team out like that and demoralize my team if we're not on that level yet? So he said, I'm not going to be doing that and getting a payday just to get my boys beat up and like 3 or 4 or 5 players get, knocked out of the game and end their season just to accept the check with those big schools. We'll get there, but, I'm not going to put my guys through that. And I admire that. My last second shot, I mentioned earlier about the PBS special on Muhammad Ali on September 19th. Ken, if you ever see a Ken Burns documentary, he does really great documentaries. The last one I saw with the baseball series, excellent. So I can't wait for this PBS special on Muhammad Ali that Ken Burns has put together. And I'm a big Muhammad Ali fan, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. And just, you think you've seen everything about Ali, but I bet you Ken Burns kind of has some twists and turns that we haven't seen that will make it interesting. That's our show. Stay tuned for our NFL picks. Black is the leader for right now.
Thank you, sir.
Right now. And Pop said that, he doesn't have his, in the sand right now, but you just got a 1-game lead. That's all. That's what he has to say.
At least I get my picks in on time, Pops.
Look at the picks.
You can't win if you don't play, baby.
Let's go into the summary of the NFL picks, man. What games kind of stood out to you and surprised you the most? Because a lot of them surprised me. So what games kind of stood out to you, bro?
And there was a few. Tennessee and Arizona Cardinals, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. Arizona, I expect them to have proved something from last year. I did not see their defense amount to what it amount to on Sunday. But Tennessee act like they didn't. They act like it was a 7-7 walkthrough game for them. There was lackluster. There was nothing going on. They had no energy, no excitement. They couldn't try to run the ball. The offensive line forgot how to block. Their defense is worse this year so far than it was last year. I just didn't totally understand. Minnesota started the game the same way, like they didn't care against the Cincinnati Bengals. Like this is going to show up and it's going to be enough. Then they realized there was a dogfight towards the third and fourth quarter. And they're trying to make a game of it and they pushed it to overtime. But I don't understand Minnesota in a sense. I don't understand what are they thinking. And I think what happened with a lot of teams, man, they kind of took some teams for granted, such as Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers said Green Bay took, New Orleans Saints for granted because Drew Brees not there. Maybe, maybe not. But I think it's deeper with Green Bay. I really do, man. I think Aaron Rodgers, and it's funny because one of his ex-tight ends said the same thing. He don't think Aaron Rodgers has the energy to play anymore. He just doesn't. I think Aaron Rodgers kind of really thought he was going to be off that team doing Jeopardy. And he kind of spread himself out. Like Aaron Rodgers became somewhat of more of a household name for some different reasons in the offseason when football wasn't playing, trying to become Jeopardy. He started chasing some things that didn't happen. And I don't know if he can dial it back up now and become the head quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, but he may want to do it quick because Jordan is not that bad. That quarterback is not that bad. And once they realize you're not making the playoffs, guess what? You will be benched. And if you thought your showing on Sunday was bad, wait till they bench you, you stay on the sideline. And the true diva that's going to come out of you will come out of them, bro. Keep slicking your hair back. With that being said, man, like I said earlier, I bought into the hype of the Jets. I thought they might have something going. I'm going to say this, man, and because I always try to be objective as much as I can, even when it pains me to be objective.
Yeah, come on with it.
The Cowboys do not look that bad. They lost, and almost in a typical Cowboys fashion. But I'm going to tell you something. For a man to basically spend a whole year off the field, no preseason, Dak Prescott was slinging that football on Thursday night, bro. He was putting it down, bro. They got CeeDee Lamb, bro. CeeDee Lamb is, him being on the field gave confidence to the other receiver. Simple as that. I ain't never seen homeboy ball as bad. He did pride all his years in the football league until he saw CeeDee Lamb out there playing. He made that whole offensive squad step their game up, bro. So I'm going to give it to him. I think Tampa Bay basically felt like we just come in, we show up, we'll get through it. At some point, I think their mistakes, their miscues, going to catch up with them. But I will say this, and I said this to you.
Tell what you told me in private. Tell me what you told me.
I'm gonna say this, man. And here again, just being objective. They need to design either a special room or a special Hall of Fame for Tom Brady, bro. Because there's no one, I'm going to say, bro, in the past 10, 15 years, you know, it was a time when Joe Montana had this mystique about him. When Joe Montana had this mystique about him, where he basically, if you left him time, he got it done. Tom Brady has taken that to a new level, bro. There's only been a few times I've seen Tom Brady falter if you give him the time. One was against the Giants in the Super Bowl, but the majority of the times, if you leave Tom Brady time on the clock, he comes back and he hurts you, bro. And he did it that Thursday night to down. And it's like you look at him, he's dinking and dunking, but for some reason he gets it done, bro. So yes, I did say it. I'm being objective, and I said it that night. Sometimes you be prisoners of the moment, but then put handcuffs on me, because I'm telling you right now, that man deserves his own section in the Hall of Fame. Because if you look at what he's doing at age 43, 44, and then look at what the Patriots are trying to do without him, you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it either, Ice. He was praising Dallas, and then he said a whole special wing for Tom Brady. You're
Damn, you been smoking?
You on that stuff?
Damn.
You on that stuff?
You on that stuff, what? Damn. You on that shit?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Say, you on that shit, Junior? You on them edibles, boy.
You heard it here. Black Boy said it.
That's
Tom Brady.
And that's on camera. Damn, you must really want to be nice to you on them pictures we got. But wow, I'm trying to bring myself back into what I was thinking about. But looking at the week, what surprised me, I had to say the Steelers over the Bills. They play old school football. They punched them in the mouth and was like, we're going to use special teams to show y'all you're not ready yet. Granted, our quarterback is old. We got some things going on. But nah, you don't come in here ready to play. We will beat you. I was surprised about the Steelers win. The Raiders over the Ravens, man. The Raiders better figure it out, man, because Raiders were looking like they just wanted to get them the game. And then Baltimore just kind of, okay, you want it, you can have it. Ravens might be in a little trouble. I'm just saying that because of the factor that you have to win ball games that count. Their schedule's too difficult for that. I think they have they play the Chiefs coming up. So we'll see what they do with that rebound in there. That's gonna be very interesting. The Eagles destroying the Falcons. Matt Ryan, really, bro? So y'all let Julio Jones go so you can score 6 points? Really? So you can get the tight end and you swear you had to have, and then you still have Cordarrelle Patterson is your leading damn rusher. He was just a wide receiver playing running back. He was just with Chicago. Why you think they let him go? Man, Atlanta, man, they might be in a little trouble with here. I'm just saying, it's ridiculous. Also, too, kudos to the Dolphins, man. 17-16 over the Patriots. Dolphins, I said it before, if they get just Sean Watson, bro, and he's able to play, you might want to watch out for something. I'm making that prediction now. I don't know if that's going to happen this year, next year, or never, but I think they're that good that with a solid quarterback. And Tua's decent, but I'm talking about a veteran quarterback that knows how to win, could take them over the top. Last but not least, impressed by the Rams over the Bears. I know the Bears are not really the greatest team, but love him or hate him, you can tell that Matthew Stafford knows he has some talent now.
Yeah.
He's like, man, y'all been killing me for years over in Detroit. I've been playing, didn't know what was going to happen, but he has some talent and he is playing his butt off. He's excited and he's using, they only have a running back. They had, I think it's Henderson from Memphis. Henderson Jr. did okay, but they were running your boy Deshaun Jackson out the slot. Yeah, Deshaun Jackson. They run Deshaun Jackson out the slot. I'm like, they just slinging the ball around. And I think with their defense, they can surprise a lot of people. Well, Matthew Stafford, even the players, I think, are excited that they got a quarterback now that can get the job done.
I was telling Black the other day, he looked like a brand new quarterback.
Yeah, man.
You didn't tell me that was Matt Stafford. I thought that was a brand new quarterback. You guys already talked about surprises. I'm surprised that the Bears didn't switch quarterbacks at halftime for that game. It's coming. It's coming. Let's go to the picks. Pop is supposed to pick first. I'll get his picks a little bit later because it was my fault. I didn't get his picks earlier. So I will go first, then Black, then Ice Water.
It's starting.
Yeah.
It's starting.
The fix is not in. The fix is not in. But anyway, week 2 of our picks, the New York Giants versus Washington. I'm going Washington one more again with the backup quarterback. Fitzmagic got hurt. I couldn't believe it. He got hurt, in the first quarter? And couldn't finish the game. I was looking forward to them winning that game. But I'm going to go with them at home against the Giants. I believe you, Black. I believe you. I heard you. The Giants are horrible, and Saquon Barkley may not be playing on Thursday night.
I was surprised in the offseason when Washington picked up Fitzpatrick. I really was. I watched this quarterback play in the postseason last year. He's a gamer, man. You just gotta let him play. You just gotta let him play. I don't know why they kind of got Fitzpatrick to play in front of him. You don't need to. Let him play, win and lose with him. You have a young team. Let the team grow together. It's easy to take the Washington. Here again, I want the Giants to win 1 or 2 games this season. I want that general manager out of there. Danny Dimes got to go. And when he go, take Eli and Peyton right off ESPN with you. All 4 walk out and go somewhere together.
They got to take the Peytons off that Monday night. Yeah, that's horrible. Put coaches on there. Put coaches on there.
Yes.
Man, this comes from a Giants fan. You're praising Tom Brady and you're dogging the Giants. I can't believe this. Ice?
Wow, that's amazing. I thought I was going to maybe look at the Giants this week, but the way that they lost to Denver kind of threw you for a loop. And I think Washington with their defense and along with their coach is pushing them guys really hard. I think they can get everybody healthy. They can at least try to be halfway decent. With that being said, I'm going to select Washington.
Okay. Next game on tap is Buffalo versus Miami. Even though Pittsburgh hit Buffalo in the mouth, this should be a wake-up call for Buffalo. And even though I like Miami and like what they're doing, I think Buffalo's going to go in there and really kind of take Miami to task. Black?
I was disappointed in Miami. I know you beat a win is a win. Don't get me wrong. A rookie quarterback starting for New England, there's no way that game should be that tight, bro. I'm sorry. That game should not be that tight, Miami. This division is up for grabs. Up for grabs. And Miami, do you want it or don't? You got to beat New England more than one to have the division. For that reason, I'm taking Buffalo. If Buffalo can make some changes, stop slinging the ball. I can't believe it. This quarterback is good. But every down, you got to be going trying to get the killer. You don't have to go for run the ball some, bro. Play calling. If they just change the offensive play call in this game, they'll do well. I'm taking the Bills with this one.
All right. Ice?
I think the way Miami will win this game will be ball control. As you mentioned before, Buffalo was slinging it. They're going to sling it again this week because they don't think that Miami has the personnel offensively to hang with them. Their defense is tough, but if they get up a couple touchdowns where Allen can connect a little bit, then they're going to be off and running. Because as much as I like, Tua to try to do his thing, can't hang with them dudes. So I'm going to go with Buffalo. I think they're going to try to make up for what they didn't do last week.
All right. Next game on tap is Cincinnati at Chicago. I got to go with Cincinnati and Joe Burrow because what they did to Minnesota last week, and that Minnesota is in the same division as Chicago. Chicago is not as good as Minnesota, nowhere near how good Minnesota could be. But Cincinnati hung in there, and eventually won that game. Got to go with Cincinnati, even though they're a away team. Black?
I'm just going to say Cincinnati. It speaks for itself. Until Chicago basically starts the other quarterback, whoever they play, it doesn't matter.
That defense, Chicago's defense is really, I think Mack is hurt. I think because he was questionable before the game. And he really hasn't been the player he was 2 years ago. Ice?
Yeah, I should have said this as part of my my last second shot, but I'm gonna say it now. For all y'all that was down on that Jamar Chase kid that from LSU talking about he dropping balls in the preseason, be very careful because some people take criticism and they run with it. He ran with it. He had over 100 yards receiving, caught a touchdown, and he and Joe Burrow right back where they started from, whenever a couple of seasons ago. So with that being said, Bengals have too much. Chicago is one dimensional, bro. They got one running back, they got one wide receiver, and the defense is just tired. They tired as hell. So tired that they even were excited when Justin Fields got in and ran his touchdown. You could have swore they won the Super Bowl the way they were so excited when he scored his first touchdown. So if they get excited about that, it's not a good look. So please let that man sit for at least 8 weeks before you bring him in there. Justin Fields is not ready, neither are y'all. But with that being said, I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
5 weeks tops.
I said 3, and I thought last week they were going to yank Dalton. I really did. Next game on tap, Denver versus Jacksonville. I'm going with Denver. It seems that the team is rallying behind Bridgewater as a leader. There was a clip that I saw of the defense. The linebacker coming up to Bridgewater during the game. It was like, man, we needed that pep talk. We haven't gotten a pep talk like that since number 18 was here. That says a lot. Got to go with Denver, even though I didn't pick them last week. I'm sorry. Black?
I think Shaq has a new pizza with that company's with the new pepperoni pizza, the Shaq, whatever. What they need to do during the second quarter, make sure there's some in the locker room for the head coach of Jacksonville. Easy win, bro. What? You know what that says about your franchise? Your head coach at halftime gets caught. Who took the picture, bro?
I don't know.
Who took that picture? Who posted that? Which says to me, I mean, there was a lot of reports on Sunday that the team is disfranchised with them already. I believe that to be true. But who basically, that reminds me a little bit at that time that when the Pittsburgh, when what's name was having his press conference, NBA press conference, and Antonio Brown was live on Facebook and he didn't call. Who took that picture and posted, bro? Who? There's dissension going on in Jacksonville, and it's not pretty. So all you gotta do, order Uber Eats. I'm taking the Broncos, baby. Pepperoni. Put a mushroom up there.
Gordon was running like he was a rookie. Ice. Denver at Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Denver. Gordon better run like he better keep running like he's a rookie because they have a nice little young running back that's waiting this opportunity to play, and Williams. So he better keep running because Williams is running. He wants that job and he's young. But Teddy Bridgewater stepping up, Teddy ball game. Good to see that. And Jacksonville. I mean, Denver's only 1 week. They throwing Urban away, man. Come on, man. Give him it's 1 week, bro. Gee, when Christmas. 1 week. Anyway, but with all that being said, Denver.
Wow. Next game on tap is Houston and Cleveland. Now, any way that a team could find a way to lose, Cleveland will find a way to lose. They had Kansas City by the short and curlies and could not complete it. I did not want to pick them this week, but I got to go with them at home. I wouldn't be surprised if Houston upset them, but I'm going with Cleveland. I wouldn't be surprised.
But pick Houston in. Pick Houston. I dare you. I dare you.
Guys,
I dare you. I dare you.
Picking Cleveland.
Well, but man up then. Man up. Man up. Pick up. Man up.
Pick it for you and your pop. Pick Houston for you and your pop.
I'm picking Cleveland.
Well, look, don't say nothing. They might upset them. We don't want to hear that either.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes or no? Which one?
Stay behind your pick,
Cleveland.
I did. We don't want to hear all that action.
Black, what you got?
I'm going to say this, man. If this game was in Houston, I might be with you. I just don't understand. I mean, just when you think this quarterback has turned the corner, bro, you gotta throw that ball out of bounds. Don't tell me you're throwing it out of bounds when you're throwing it in double coverage. All you had to do is throw that ball out of and live to play another. It's up here for this cat. But I will admit his arm looks better. He's throwing the ball better. If Cleveland just will realize, take the ball out of his hand and just run the ball. You got 2 stud running backs. How? Win 10 games, get into the playoffs. That's all you want to do. Win 10 games, let him get to the playoffs. You don't have to try to prove that he's better than what people think he is. Let him keep making his commercials, do all that stuff. He has the commercial. Just run the ball. Run. Top secret. Run the ball, Cleveland. Run. You got a pretty good defense. Run the ball.
All right. Ice?
Yeah, well, apparently we got some Pittsburgh Steelers fans in the building because of the fact that the man had a brain freeze against one of the best teams in the whole NFL football league. And now the Cleveland Browns are done. You better hope they done. They won't be done this week when they get in Houston's behind. You can write that down. I'm not gonna go, well, I'm going maybe kind of nah. Cleveland. And I don't give, they could be playing in Japan. I would give a Cleveland is going to win this week.
You know,
they
had Kansas City,
but let me
they couldn't do it. Punters dropping the ball,
but that's Kansas City. Anything can happen. Ask Tom Brady how many Super Bowls he won because other people were scared. It happens. How many Super Bowls somebody gifted him? Kansas City got a game they got gifted. It doesn't mean that all the time. I'm just saying, you just throwing Cleveland away. You better hope they bad. Because I told you they coming for Pittsburgh. I don't give a damn. They coming for Pittsburgh.
That's a lot of smoke, Hugh. That's a lot of smoke. You should have took Houston, man. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You want to pick me and pick in Houston. It's over. Next game on tap. Y'all trying to pick me to change my pick. The LA Rams against Indianapolis. I'm going with the Rams. They look, like I said, Stafford looked like a brand new quarterback in an offense that he really likes. And I know the Chicago defense wasn't that they weren't really up for the task, but I just can't see Indianapolis. They're in the shambles in Indianapolis right now. And I just can't see Indianapolis beating the Rams. Black?
No, I think Indianapolis, they're going to rule the day that they decide they're going to get this quarterback, man. They're going to rule the day they decide they're going to win. So they're going to start rule this Sunday because when that defense come after him, they'll see that he's not the guy. It's sad because you're right. That team is basically in the shambles. They're going to – I don't think – I'll be lucky. I think they'll be lucky if they have a 500 season this year. Rams, I didn't watch them Sunday night because I didn't want to watch Chicago. I will pay attention to the game on Sunday. If he is who they say he is, he played well as you say he does, boom, this is going to be a blowout. I'll take the Rams.
All right. Ice?
I didn't even know Carson Wentz was playing. I thought he was hurt. So I was like, well, I thought he was hurt. Did I look at the stats? I said he played. But, they still lost to Seattle. Russell was on one as well. But no, I'm with you. I'm with the Rams because of the factor Stafford, man, is on. He's feeling real good. Team is excited. And even the coach is smiling. He gets so frustrated with golf before. He like, what am I going to do with this guy? We got him. But Stafford, wife's happy. She look healthy. Everybody healthy. I was like, damn. She out there in California. In nothing but love. But it was just like everybody happy. So, yeah, going with the Rams.
Side note with Chicago, they may be moving to Arlington Heights, the racetrack, and out of Soldier Field because the Rivers Gambling Company here, I think, owns Arlington Heights, and the Chicago Bears have a relationship with Rivers, the gambling spot here in Chicago. So they've been talking about it since July, and Chicago may be moving to Arlington Heights out of Soldier Field, which I think is a good move. Next game on tap is Las Vegas, who I guess they just lucked up and won on Monday night because nobody wanted the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going with Pittsburgh. They're at home. And I just don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers will give the Raiders a shot to win that game after what they saw on Monday night. Black?
And when Pittsburgh Steelers get that running game, that the rookie running back, when they get him running, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, man. Because that defense is about it, bro. They brought some players in the offseason. That defense, number 8, I can't think of his name. That's a monsoon right there. That defense is something spectacular. So once they get the running game, I think Muhammad, I think his name is, from Alabama.
Najee,
yeah. Once he gets going on track, just about the time it gets cold, they're gonna be a little tough to deal with. So I'm gonna take the Steelers. The Vegas had their Super Bowl weekend last weekend, opening week. John Gruden will be John Gruden this week. They go back to their normal routine. Steelers.
I don't know who that guy is, number 21 for the Baltimore Ravens, but they kept putting him in the game, and he kept getting burnt. And I don't understand for the life of me why they kept putting him in the game.
Ravens are in trouble, though. They're in trouble.
Yeah, they are. But, when you look at it from the standpoint of the Raiders likes the nice confines, and they got a gift. Pittsburgh's not having it. I still just think there's something with those two franchises don't like one another. Mm-hmm. And Pittsburgh, like, you know what, anytime we can stomp on that helmet, we will. Pittsburgh play old school football, and the Raiders make the mistakes they did against the Ravens, and they get after Derek Carr. Yeah, nah, because they told more stories about people recovering from rehab than they did about the football team. No disrespect, but I'm just saying. I was like, damn, is everybody on rehab from the Ravens?
Everything but football. They were
Yeah, I was
talking
sitting there
about
going,
with
well, you know, we got this guy, and then this guy too. I was like, what, they got AA meetings at the damn facility? Hey, be funny. I'm just saying, wow. Well, I thought we were talking about football. I'm glad you made it through, bro, but my goodness. And with that being said, yeah, Pittsburgh. I'm gonna have to go with Pittsburgh on this selection.
All right, next game on tap is New England. They're going to the Meadowlands to meet the New York Jets. I know they looked bad last week. I know we kind of, you know, we were hoping they would be better. But in the second half, they played much better. The first half, they could have played the first half the way they played the second half. They probably would have won that game. I'm going to go with the Jets. I'm going to go with the Jets one more time against New England. Black.
You know, as you were talking, I thought of an NBA coach would say, Chuck Daly. Remember Chuck Daly? Chuck Daly says sometimes the only way to kill a snake is to take him by his head and cut his head off. And the Jets, the only way you're going to beat the Patriots is to take them by the head and rustle their head off. And they're not going to do that with the Patriots. I'm sorry. I'm taking the Patriots, man. Bill Belichick will always, he will beat the Jets in his rocking chair someday, bro, coaching the Patriots. They're not ready. Yeah, they came back. Those are garbage points. If Matt Jones can get 16 points against the Miami Dolphins and lose by 1, he's going to beat the Jets by 3 or more. I'm taking the Patriots, bro. I mean, I'm not falling into week 2. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I know you like that quarterback BYU. He's going to be running for his life this weekend, bro. He's going to be running for his life. He's going to wish he's back in college this weekend.
He's got to have to do it on his feet, with his feet. He's going to have to do it. Ice?
Yeah, Matt Jones wasn't that bad last week. In fact,
No.
they were very close. And yeah, they'll get this one. The Jets got me last. I knew it. I said to myself, they burnt you last year. Why are you doing this? You trying to stay with the pack? The hell with the pack. I'm going with the Pats. New England.
Make sure your father take the Jets too. Make sure
he won't see the show, so he won't.
Just lean on him. Take the Jets if you don't.
Oh, I can't lean on him. He'll see that coming. He'll see that. He knows me. He knows me. Next
hey, Jets.
You know he don't like nothing out of New York, so that's a hard sell right there. Next game on tap is New Orleans with Black's boy, who had a great game last week against Carolina. We got Black because I got New Orleans. I'm a believer in Jameis Winston now.
I'm gonna tell you something. When Jameis can be happy about basically not throwing more than 100 yards and getting the win, he's reformed, bro. He's reformed. I'm gonna take this New Saints with this one, man, because even though Carolina, that quarterback played well, he played against the Jets defense. He knew that team. He knew the players. See what he does this week against the New Orleans Saints. It's gonna be a totally different story. Saints, man. This is an in-conference game. Oh yeah. Welcome to Charlotte, quarterback.
Yeah, because if they could twist up Aaron Rodgers like that, Ice.
Wow, this is a hard one because you expect McCaffrey try to do his little thing, but now that defense, man, I always said that the New Orleans defense is nasty. They're gonna be even nastier. Jameis just has to keep playing ball. They're excited and hyped up, and they're gonna put a lot of pressure on them. And I don't think that Carolina still use their weapons appropriately, and I don't think they will against this way. And Jameis just has not to throw 3 interceptions. He probably throw 4 touchdowns. Just don't get caught up in it. But I think Coach now is like, look, just calm down, bro. Dink and dunk. We got enough weapons. So I'm going to choose New Orleans.
Yeah, that's the smartest I've seen him play ever in a professional game. That's the smartest because he did not he took the ball and ran. You don't see him run a lot. He threw the ball away. He gave the ball, handed off a running back. And so that's the smartest I've seen him play. And you got to think that those coaches got him like, okay, this is how we play. This is how we win. Next game on tap is San Francisco at Philadelphia. I told you about Hurts. And picked Philadelphia last week over Atlanta. I'm picking them again. I'm wondering if Black, are you going to pick Garofalo again?
I'm just gonna say to the viewers that are watching this, if you get a chance, rewind this and look at Ice Face when you said you're taking Philly again. That's what this. Bro, oh yeah, I'm taking the 49ers again. I'm not stupid.
You taking the 49ers?
Yes, I want to win.
Okay.
Hey, you're right. He's a great quarterback. Well, he's number 2 for the. He did his thing against Atlanta Falcons defense. This is a real defense. He's made this week, baby. This made some real defense this week. But I don't care. Like I said, I don't care what they're playing. They could be playing in a backyard where they're selling hot steaks, Philly steaks, whatever. 49ers is gonna get after them this week, bro. They're gonna get after. I'm taking the 49ers, bro. I don't care who's quarterback in the 49ers.
Now, viewers, watch next week as Black Thor cusses out Garofalo.
The difference being here, if Garofalo's playing very, very bad, they're not afraid to put other quarterback in.
No.
They'll put him in. That's the difference. They will put him in. But let's just say, if I'm not mistaken, Garofalo, Jimmy pouring love and Garofalo threw for over 300 yards, man. So.
Ice, who you got?
Yeah, a little difficult here. I like Jalen Hurts. I'm glad he's doing well. You know, he's connected with his a fellow alumni, Alabama alumni for touchdown. That's all well and great. But San Francisco, Jimmy G, Garoppolo, let me tell you something. He's playing to keep his job.
Sure.
And he's trying to get that young fella off the damn field. And he's like, you know what? I'm so desperate. I'm going to go get an old, salty veteran. Deebo Samuel was balling. I was like, what the hell? Where he come? A reincarnation. Deebo was killing them so bad that he hurt my guy, Jeff Okuda, put him out for the rest of the season for Detroit.
Huda?
Yeah. Huda. So he's out, but I'm telling you. But San Francisco, everybody's on point because they know if you slip one time, I think they lost Mostert or they lost a running back for the rest of the year, but still, they're on point because everybody knows if you're not playing up to par, you can lose your job. I'm going with San Francisco.
Yeah, they lost a cornerback now. I think they signed a cornerback, San Francisco. They were talking about Richard Sherman. Ain't nobody touching Richard Sherman at this particular point. Next game on tap is Atlanta. They go to Tampa Bay and touchdown Tom. I got to go with Tampa Bay. Even though Dallas played them really tough, I got to figure what the hell's going on with Tom Bowles with that defense, because they was making the Dallas Cowboys look like they were Drew Pearson, Golden Richards out there, all these other receivers out there, Dallas pass out there. They couldn't stop the passing game with Dallas. So they got to play better on defense. I think they will against Atlanta. Black, who you got?
You don't even have to play better on defense to beat the Falcons, bro. They'll beat them. You can say that for the third week. But this is going to be a week for Tampa Bay, kind of rework on some things, get some things straightened out. And, I mean, Arthur Blank that owns the Atlanta Falcons, I'm going to say this. If your team gets shut down this week, and I know they're playing Tampa Bay, you may want to clean house for the week 3, bro. Just start fresh. Start fresh. Because something you've done the offseason with this coach, the preseason, the training camp, like you said, you can't score more than 6 points at home against Arizona on opening Sunday, you're going the wrong direction. You're going absolutely. I don't know who you hired as head coach. He ain't getting it done. He's not getting it done.
Well, he gave up the head coach, the interim head coach last year. The brother, right?
Yes.
He gave him up.
Doing well.
He was doing well.
He was doing well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, nah, you going down to Tampa too? Nah, bro. You going down to Tampa as well? Atlanta, you scored 6 points. And now you get rid of Julio Jones because he was hurt or whatever. And then now you want really to step up and be your number one receiver. You bring in a young tight end and you don't have a running back. Dude, that's trouble. They might bring Tom Brady out the second half and put somebody else. I'm serious. Yeah. Kind of safe, keep him going. He might play a series in the third quarter. I think it's gonna be that brutal. They're gonna beat Atlanta down. Yeah,
maybe Atlanta has a phobia of seeing Tom Brady with that 28-3 lead and then losing the Super Bowl. Minnesota at Arizona. I'm a believer now. I did not see Arizona's defense the way I see them now. The defense is there, and their offense has weapons. Arizona at home. Black?
Let me say this now, man. I know we never should call for another man's job. The head coach of Minnesota, if you don't get it done this year, bro, at least get into the playoffs. You got to go. You got to go. You have not done well with the talent on that team. I know your quarterback now may not be top 10, but that team has been underachieving under your tutelage. Get them out as the head coach of the Vikings. You're right. Arizona defense is something to behold, man. And Hopkins, are you kidding me? Hopkins. Damn. That's what I'm going to say. Arizona. Hopkins.
Yeah, if they were playing in Minnesota, I might take a look at it, but I'm not taking that deeper look at it because Arizona at home is going to be too much. I don't understand what Minnesota's doing and why they're coming around, but just makes you wonder as to how they play on such a level and now try to get it done. So with that being said, I'm going to roll with Arizona to win.
All right. Next game on tap is the Dallas Cowboys against the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers at home. Black, who you got?
I think the Chargers last week, I was impressed to an extent. But I think Dallas' offense is just a little bit too much, man. I think their offense is going to be a little too much. I know they're traveling on the road. I think last week will put a bad taste in their mouth. I'm willing to take a loss if I have to, but I don't think I will, man. I think one thing Dallas will do this week, and I think they failed to do it last week because they wanted to show they can keep track with a high-power offense such as Tampa Bay. Dallas got to get back to running the ball, man. You got to get back to giving Zeke the ball. And if they do that this week, they'll be fine. You got to get back. I know you're paying a lot of money to Dak. You're paying a lot of money. He's proven to you in 1 week he can do it if necessary. Run the ball. Keep this game kind of tight. Win it on the ground. I'm taking the Cowboys here on the road.
I hear my dad talk about the Cowboys a lot, and one of the things that he's been saying this for years. As soon as the Dallas Cowboys get stopped on the run, maybe once, twice, 3 times, they go to the passing game and they do not go back to the running game. And when you have Dak throwing that much, it's not always good. So, who you got in this game?
Yeah, but because I think that they're trying to make him like the savior, right? He's going to win the game by passing the ball. So if you don't want to run the ball like that, can we at least get throw Zeke a screen pass?
Pass, yeah.
I mean, my goodness, damn. Can he touch the rock? He blocking and everything like that too. But I think this week that they're going to try to rectify that. They got to get Zeke in the game. When you think about the Chargers try to get it done and move forward, and they got a nice little young quarterback. But I think Dak Prescott came back. He's going to be a little antsy too. Because he's going to say, basically, I didn't come back to lose, bro. Not like this. Yeah. So I'm going to choose Dallas over the Chargers.
One of the things the reason why I'm choosing the Chargers, I don't trust Dallas's defense. I hear what y'all saying about the offense, but I don't trust their defense at this particular point. Next game on tap is Tennessee. Oh, boy, Tennessee versus Seattle with the 12th man. I'm going with Seattle at home. This is their home opener. Tennessee did not look good at all. And Russell Wilson is looking like he's trying to be the MVP this year. Black, who you got?
He ain't looking that good, bro. He's looking good enough to win this game. One thing I will say about Brave I don't like, he picked out one play that Julio Jones, who just came to the team, they got an offensive penalty called against him in a sense, a player, and he acted like that was kind of part of the reason why they lost. And I'm going to say this real quickly before we jump past this. I think you guys saw the player for Cleveland Browns that got kicked out of the game with the coach. NFL, you got to suspend that coach, bro. You got to suspend him and take him off the field because you cannot have a coach pushing a player. A player pushing another player, that's a different story. But when you got a coach coming in off the sideline, pushing another player, he's only human. He could react. NFL said they're not going to suspend him, but at the same point, that player should not have been taken out of the game. If you're going to take him out, the coach has got to go too. It's just only fair, in my opinion. But I'm gonna take I forgot what we were talking about him. I forgot what team we were talking about.
At Seattle.
I'm gonna take Seattle, man. I think Seattle will win this one. I don't think Seattle's turned the corner. I think they're in trouble. I think they're in a division where they're gonna be in trouble in the long run because I think the Rams, I think the Cardinals got something for them. I think the 49ers have something for them, but they'll win this one. I don't know what's going on with Tennessee, bro. And I don't think it's gonna get right this weekend. I think they're gonna run the ball better, but they will not win.
Yeah. Ice, we got.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Seattle as well. I think they do enough to get by. You seeing where Russell Wilson was able to find some of his favorite receivers, right? Moving the ball around. DK Metcalf started to come on a little bit later on. A lot of running, moving the ball as well. And this is what I say about Tennessee. This is the type of year that they do this all the time. Tennessee lose like the first 2 games and then they win 8 straight. This is what they do. You like, damn, what took you so long?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Seattle for the win this week.
All right. Next game on tap is Kansas City at Baltimore. Baltimore losing a heartbreaker on Monday night against the Las Vegas Raiders. I got to go with Kansas City until Baltimore proves. They got a lot of hurt guys, especially at running back. They got a lot of hurt. I think they got some offensive linemen that are banged up in Baltimore too. But it just seems like Jackson, he plays really well, but he can't find receivers. He cannot find receivers. And they need to kind of spread the ball a little bit more to get to receivers. I can't see them doing that against Kansas City. So I'm going to go with Kansas City with this one. Black?
I'm not sure what's going on with the Ravens. There's something that we're not privy to that's going on. No receiver in offseason wanted to go play with them. None. Think about that for a second. They all shunned Baltimore. They went around. Nope. I'm not going there. It's not COVID related either. They didn't want to go. And I don't know what they know about Jackson. And I'm not saying he's going to get lit up, but you can't go another 16 games and run around like you. I only watched a little bit of Monday night. Where he's running around Monday night. I feel sorry for him. They have no one for him to throw the ball to. No running game. Nothing. It's just, you look at him like, I can understand maybe this is week 10, week 11, you're depleted. This is week 1. Week 1. And they look like they're lost, man. I just don't, their play calling is basically kind of predictable. I just don't understand it. I just don't think they should be stepping up to basically challenge Kansas City, and they're not ready. They're not ready. And it's going to be shown. Kansas City's going to basically put a beat down on them.
All right. Ice?
Yeah, I'm gonna second that notion when it comes to their offensive play calling. I mean, we're watching the game, my brother and I, we're like, man, what the hell are they calling? You know, it's either gonna go to Mark and Andrews, the tight end, right, or Marquise Hollywood Brown. Other than that, it's like, what are you doing? Then he's trying to run for his life. And ironically, they might have made one good decision in the offseason, and that's to let Willie Snead go. Because Willie Snead was the guy that's supposed to catch that touchdown for the Raiders to win the game, and the ball popped up in the air out of his hands, and the guy got the interception. That was Willie Snead, who used to play for the Ravens.
Right, yeah, I remember. Right.
So, yeah, I'm sitting there going like, that's why they let you go.
Maybe he's still playing for the Ravens, quiet as a cat.
Oh, my God. I was sitting there going like that, too. But with all that being said, no, I think Kansas City is like going to show you what time it is. They're going to move forward. Even though it's on the road, I think Baltimore will kind of hang just because Jackson can move around and whatnot. But no, I think Kansas City is still on the mission and going to prove to you that, hey, we like prime time. So keep us on prime time. Kansas City.
They got some prime time games that really suck this season so far. Oh my God. Speaking of one, the next game on tap, which is on a Monday night, Detroit versus Green Bay. I got to go with Green Bay. I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers, see if he can recover from last week. And I just can't see Detroit winning any games this season. Black?
They did battle back Sunday, man. Not enough to impress me to want to pick them. I think this game is going to be close. It's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be both, but I think Green Bay will win. I think there's something wrong with Aaron Rodgers. I don't think it says in the right place, bro. He's too much of a diva. And I also think this. I think not only the management's tired of Aaron Rodgers, I think his offensive line is tired of him, bro.
They block way better for Jordan Love than him.
Yeah, I think they're tired of him. It's something to be said when you're in a game of a heated battle, you're fighting, and you watch Aaron Rodgers not run for a touchdown that could have sent you to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then whole offseason, he don't take responsibility. He never take responsibility for his error. I think here again, I think it's not only management. I think the team itself is tired of him.
Ice?
That sounds good. Jared Goff is playing hard because he wants to prove that he's not a bust. But I don't see Aaron Rodgers dropping 2 in a row, man. Not like that. And I don't think it's going to be close. I really don't. I think they had enough screaming sessions, whatever they had to do to get over it. So we'll see. I think that they will handle Detroit because you saw how Deebo Samuel was catching that rock, bro. And then they'll play no defense, can't stop the run either. No, you're gonna say, man, well, they look pretty good against Detroit, but it was Detroit. So now I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. I'm going with Green Bay.
Okay. Those are our picks. We will post them up on the Goon Squad Sports Radio page on Facebook and on Twitter. We will see you next week. Maybe there'll be some changes in the position.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. No, we already know 2 changes.
Stay tuned for overtime. Ice Water, we're going to talk some boxing, man. The fight that we've been kind of wishing for a long time and wondering why these guys hadn't fought sooner, is Sean Porter and Crawford. Yeah. And they're about to get it on because they don't get along. They're supposed to be friends. So, yeah. So what do you think about that, sir?
Man, it's a fight I've been waiting for. I've been kind of speaking out about it, even when we talked to Buddy McGirt. My buddy McGirt said, boy, you ought to be a matchmaker. Thank you, buddy.
I remember that.
Much love. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, brother. Much love, bro. Yeah. So finally, we were getting this fight. I think it's outstanding. You mentioned about them being friends, but I think it's a solid fight because it opens the door for a lot of things. And initially, because Spence was fighting Pacquiao, we didn't know how that was going to go. But now that Spence is out of commission, the one thing that myself and maybe some of the other people, not that we doubted Crawford, we wanted to see him legitimately fight somebody at 147 that was going to give him a real challenge. And this is it. This is it. Crawford is, everybody talked about how great he is, which I have no doubt, but I need to see him fight somebody at 147. Porter is no nonsense. He's going to come at you, maybe to a fault. Keep coming, will not stop. And that's going to put pressure on Crawford. But Crawford's a hell of a boxer, can move around and inflict punishment. So it's a great fight to see on who has the best, the test of wills and whose will is going to win out. But it's so many things are set up from the standpoint of, even from business standpoint, that this is Terrence Crawford's last fight technically for Top Rank. So his contract ends after this fight. Okay. And normally Top Rank has said they did not want to sanction fights against other PBC fighters, right? Because they can't really agree on it. It's a nightmare to promote things of that nature. But when Bob Arum started to look around and after he clearly has just really said some bad things about Terrence Crawford not being a moneymaker or things like that, you couldn't turn this fight down because nobody else is out there worthwhile the money that's going to come in.
True.
To the point of, and when PBC is willing to relinquish the lead of pay-per-view to Top Rank, they had to take this fight because Pacquiao's done. I mean, where else you going to go? You move up, try to fight somebody at a higher weight. Doesn't look good there for you. I mean, people going to say he's more of just fighting somebody to be fighting. This is the fight people want to see. And if he does win this fight, I'm talking about Crawford, it opens the door for him to face Spence, if not right away after his tune-up fight, to saying, hey, I beat one of the top guys. You say, I didn't fight nobody. You barely got away with this guy. I destroyed him. If that would come down to, what's your excuse now? So I think it's perfect. I said that for the longest time. So I think it's great for both of them. I think it's going to open the door for a lot of things too. And I'm excited about it. I really am. And finally, I'm like, I might have to go out to Vegas and catch that one. I might have to make a phone call because that's the fight I've been wanting to see. I would love to see that fight. So what's that, November 20th, I think it is?
Yeah, somewhere in November. And it needs to happen for boxing because boxing has had so many letdowns. Right. And so you need a fight like this to get boxing fans excited, especially around the holidays, around November. Give people something to talk about and spend their money on as far as pay-per-view. The Holyfield event, I know we talked a little bit about it earlier. When is it going to come to a point where people say, you know what, this is enough. We don't want to see this kind of stuff anymore.
I'm not sure if it's going to get to that point. I don't, because people now like entertainment. Like I said, they just like to see things that are unusual. I think that's part of the popularity of reality TV. I have my young 15-year-old nephew trying to school me about TikTok. And he was showing me some TikTok stuff. I don't get it, bro. I'm old as hell. I don't get it. And I know I get it. I mean, I understand what he was saying. He was like, you don't think that's funny? I was like, no. I said, but their TikTok is 30 years too late. I'd have been a millionaire. I've been a millionaire. But the stuff they're doing on TikTok, all of the different material and stuff we used to practice, oh man, you as well. We'd have been rich by now. And you getting paid off TikTok telling jokes and doing crazy videos that people think are funny. That's how you get paid. Dude, we'd have been sitting there. Probably would have been trouble though, because we probably would have been doing some wrong things and doing the wrong stuff, something like
Politically
that. Politically
incorrect.
Yeah. So we wouldn't probably be here to tell about it. Probably be in rehab. Anyway, I keep throwing that rehab thing up there. But I'm just saying, but no, I think just overall that people still want to see it. They want to see these fights. And when it's available, it's like somebody was telling me, one of my buddies was telling me on another show, he said he thought this Holyfield and these boxing exhibitions are so bad that even a promoter like P.T. Barnum back in the day wouldn't even promote it. I said, I disagree with that, because P.T. Barnum said, look, I don't really like it. I don't think it's great competition or good boxing. But though you seeing the receipts that are coming in this moment, you know, people are getting paid. They're buying into it.
And there's a sucker born every day is what people.
Oh, yeah. And it's a show. And that's what they want. That's why the Pauls have done what they've been able to do. Well, Paul now all of a sudden, because he knows that he's going to have to fight a real boxer or somebody of serious contention now. Seriously talking about retirement? Okay, yeah, I get it.
But I heard something about Masvidal fighting one of them.
He don't want this.
I would think not, but it just seemed like they kind of bend the rules a little bit. Those guys aren't boxers. They don't have any boxing skills. And a guy like Masvidal does have some hands that could, it's way better at it, has been doing it much longer. So I don't think they want that smoke, but you know, maybe they're going to retire rich. Maybe that's the move.
Let me just say this. It'll be one hell of a promotion, because Masvidal likes to eat fast food while he's at the podium too. So you'll have him with his favorite, whatever fast food. And then of course you're going to have Paul coming up with Raising Cane's, right? So all of that too. So it'll be one hell of a thing, because Masvidal, he talks and he gets in your face. And I tell you what, if Paul cannot fight, if he can struggle like he did against Woodley, one thing we know about Masvidal, he can throw them hands.
Yeah.
I love Nate Diaz, but he put some things on Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
And that wasn't just kicking, he was throwing some hands. And Mr. Paul, I'm just gonna say, it's cool that you want to laugh and joke and tell everybody and laugh and kind of perpetrate a fraud. But Woodley almost came close to getting you. He wanted a rematch because I think he understood what he needs to do now. But Mr. Masvidal, you might want to be careful. That's like saying you want to fight Nate Diaz, bro. Yeah. Certain things you don't need. In fact, I think Masvidal said you fight them both on the same night.
Yeah, basically. And you know that those millions of dollars go quick with the medical expenses. They go real quick.
Masvidal said, I'll fight both of y'all on the same night. Give me $10 million. I would love to see that. Now, you talk about that craziness.
I would see that.
I would pay that. If he said, I'm going to work both days on the same, and I'm going to charge you $75, I'll pay $100 for that. I would pay $100 to watch him fight both of them and whoop that. I'm trying to tell you.
So other boxing news or UFC news, what you been hearing, bro?
Yeah, we have a fight coming up in a couple of weeks. It's Anthony Joshua versus Usyk. Very, very big fight because of the fact that Usyk is a player. He's a guy that really has strong hands, and it's a big risk because Anthony Joshua needs to win this fight to move on to receive a big paycheck against the winner of Wilder and Fury, which is coming up in October. So with that being said, a loss by Joshua, who has 3, I think, of the major belts right now in the heavyweight division, would be horrible. It would be horrible for his legacy and the whole nine. So he needs to win this fight. But then, as we also mentioned too, despite what people have not been hearing, it's been real quiet. Wilder and Fury is supposed to still take place in Vegas in October. And with that being said, that's one fight everybody cool. If we haven't heard anything, it's been real quiet. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You saw it twice. The third time is going to be even better. And they know it. That's why they haven't really been pressed about it. you are going to watch that fight. People want to see, can Wilder come back? Can he reclaim his throne? Or is Fury really that damn crafty that he can outwit probably one of the hardest punches we've seen in a long time?
Yeah. All right. Thank you, sir. We will get back to this next week. Take care. I guess they're meeting Congress or whatever, and everybody ignored them, man.
That is ridiculous, man. And that whole scenario is just like for how long that went on, that makes no sense.
Yeah,
makes no sense.
It gives you a sense of how like the government and these agencies, man, really value women. They don't value women, man.
We see in society all the time, bro. We see it over and over again. But I mean, and I'll even go deeper. Some parents don't value women. Let's be honest, man. Some of these parents are looking to get their kids to a certain point, and they're looking other ways. Because they ain't nowhere in the world you turn your daughter loose or something. That nut. I'm sorry. You got to stay outside. Come on. But you're looking at where he's going to help your daughter go. And I'm not trying to blame them, but let's get real. It's a fact nobody wants to talk about. I mean, just like with the R. Kelly scenario, you see these parents turn their kids to R. Kelly at 14. What are you thinking? At the end of the R. Kelly's a grown man. You ain't bringing them to summer school camp. I mean, it's like, it is what it is. We don't focus on that, but a lot of these parents, man, it's like the cat that's going to come on that Ice turned on to the show that's coming on, the referee. I mean, one of the astonishing things he's going to talk about is how his son was suffering right in front of him. He didn't know. He's looking at all these other kids, and it's like, and that's the thing, because a lot of these parents trying to elevate their kids to get them certain places, and they're missing out on their kids' mental health. And in that case, their well-being of allowing them to be around a predator. I mean, I'm sorry, man. It's just, I look at things sometimes broadly, and that's what I see when I look at that. It's like how these parents are not taking them off the griddle, but how year after year, these parents kept bringing their daughters into them to be checked. Don't get me wrong, that university should be shut down. I don't give a damn about their history, nothing else. Yeah, but their doors should be shut, sealed, locked.
I'm like, they told it to the FBI and they dropped the ball on. I'm like, how you dropped the ball on? You up everybody else's ass, college basketball, everybody, but you dropped the ball on this?